Everybody's familiar with Lynchburg, Virginia? Nope. Awesome. Okay. Well, we had a pretty big near breach, so I want to talk about that just a second. Yeah, you were thinking cybersecurity, and I'm telling you, physical breach. We had a dam that almost bust, and it actually got international attention. The story was picked up by BBC, which is not the kind of attention that you want to get. It's echoey. And our team did a good job of managing that, but there's nothing like a good, solid crisis to allow you to get some funding to drive some innovation and change. So August 2nd, we had this major event. I won't go into all the details. We're not happy about it, but it did occur. But one of the things that came out of it was they said, we have to find a way to monitor this faster, better, get more actionable data to our people so that we don't have this situation again. We had a lot of rain issues that caused this dam caused the water behind the dam to flow very quickly. So how are we going to do this? We're a small wastewater utility. We don't have a lot of money. We're not allowed to just go spend tons of stuff. Issue like that, you know, I get some funding. Some of you here have really awesome budgets for pilot studies. I have like $30. So USGS, right? They're a government-funded group, and I know everybody loves paying taxes for government funding. USGS is actually awesome. They have about 1 million+ deployed sites right now where they monitor a whole bunch of environmental parameters, and they give all that data away for free on their website. They also have a whole program called Rapid Deployment Gauges. So if there's an issue or if there's some type of crisis, they have teams that can come in very quickly and throw out a rapid gauge. That's picture the one in Lynchburg mounted on the bridge on the dam that you just saw. They had that out there about 2 days after the event, and they start publishing that data on their satellite network to their website. So it's very valuable, and we were looking at it saying, how can we get this data? How can we use this data? What can we do with this data? So fell to me. I go to USGS's website, and I think, you guys have the data here on your website. Can I get it? Yes, I can. They have a public API, very well documented. I've never seen so much actual good anything come out of a government program. I was very impressed. Highly documented, very easy to, thanks for laughing, very easy to use. Over here, you're talking 10 lines of code. That's all it took for me to script my control system to pull this data from USGS. So I started pulling, they were giving me precipitation levels and level. And I was able to pull this into my control system. What does that mean for you? Or for me? It becomes actionable. So over here, does this work? Yeah, it does. Over here, this is the USGS data being brought in. They only update it every 6 minutes, so it's a little bit choppy looking. Over here is a sensor that we got and we put in. It was a pilot that we kind of had from a different project. And you can see there's and there's the end of my pointer. You can see there is definitely correlation there. You do see it. So we were able to validate that sensor by using the USGS data. One of the other things that we did, USGS has their baseline number. When they did all the surveying, we had their baseline, and we're bringing that in and trending it. We could start to see the rise above baseline. Because it was in our control system, we were able to use our own alarming system that we already had. We were now pushing out alarms to our people. So we were very clear to not call this a life safety device because USGS would not take any reliability on it. But we were able to push this out to our admins. So the next rain events that we had, we got actionable data. They were saying, hey, the level's starting to rise. We enacted our emergency action plan. People are out there monitoring it. We still didn't take away the people aspect because of the fact that this was a trial. But this whole thing was put together in about 15, 20 minutes. Proof of concept was that fast. So on the other side here, this is information from the James River. It's the large river that feeds us. It's also who we discharge to, cleaned water. One of our plant administrators said, I've always wanted to be able to look at the river levels and see it and make it actionable and do something with it. Well, since I'd already figured out how to pull the API, I had it done. So I just built a screen for him. Here you go, right? Very quick, very easy, and we were starting to scale out with this. So what does this really mean for you all? Do any of you want to pull USGS data in your facilities? Probably not. So I have another application that spins off of this. I didn't do this. The company that sponsored me to be here did, but I'm using it. This is a solar farm from an energy sector. Maybe some of you out there can relate to that. They have all the data coming in for the power outputs, everything they need to do. I don't work in solar, so I'm going to butcher all this, but they have cloud cover, and that matters. They need to look at weather forecasting, and that matters, right? So they're able to look at all this. They have all this historical data. What are you doing with it now? Well, we can feed it into machine learning algorithms, and we can spit out predictors. Where can we get this data from? NOAA has a public API. Once again, there's some government agencies. So how many of you are familiar or have heard of IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things? You know, where vendors want to give you cheap sensors. What if I told you there's literally 1 million+ data points out there that you could have for free? So what did they do with this? They piped it in, ran some machine learning algorithms from the control software. They're harvesting NOAA data, looking at predictions, coming back and giving predicted outputs for the solar farm and saying, based on cloud cover, prediction, and historical trending, the machine learning is automatically adjusting itself on the fly. I'm not an expert in machine learning, but it's able to, every day, they can just click a button and say, what's my prediction? And then they can plan their maintenance around it. Because why would you take down a panel on the most productive output day? So that's everything I have for you. But free data, there's 1 million+ sensors out there. When you start to realize you can bring that into your control system, these are to me, this is groundbreaking technology. This for somebody like us that can't afford to deploy sensors at scale, we'd love to give it to you guys.